game comes to start.
Yeah, straight down we go. Pretty fair overall. We'll go over Ferry Pier at the very end. But most importantly, it's what Avangar decide to do. And it is style that they'll go for. They don't want to take a risk. And we see this all too often because, like you said before, it's the fight for vehicles that's just sometimes not worth it.
It really isn't. I mean, there's no reason, especially when you know you have Insidegames, you have Riddle and Milta, and teams like that. I mean, there's just no reason to try and take a fight for vehicles, go down to Milta Power, and then maybe even have to go all the way out west or something like that. With the plane starting up northeast, and they know that the Stalpa Kameshki area is free, there's absolutely no reason for them not to go there.
Now, we love to see it. 16 teams and 64 alive to kick things off with here.
Riddle, they're going out west once more. No Milta for them either. The flight would have been too far to fly over Force, at least if you don't want to get shot at in the sky. So they're going out west. They know it's been free for a while, but this could be a little bit of confusion for K23, and it seems to be so. As we can see, they have been going south of Hospital and taking some of these areas down here. But this time around, Ruins and Watertown seemingly is where they'll have to stick to go.
Now, I want to see what Futbolists are going to do down here in Primrose when it comes down to it as well, because they continue to change things up. They're happy to mix it up a bit, but they don't have the best luck when it comes to it, and there's nothing luck on their side this time around. So we go all the way back up, and they were previously going to Zaku. They did that on the previous game. Now they may be thinking, okay, we've got a bit of a run ahead of us here.
If you were a full-on committed Primorsk team, you have not been getting a whole lot of luck this tournament. Fortunately, we don't have a fully committed Primorsk team. We do have Futbolist down there in the city right now. They have been here a couple of times already, but they're, again, also one of those teams that like to kind of jump depending on where that plane will take them. Now, Circle does go north. It's going to mean some tough rotations for some of these guys, but I would assume to see the majority, if not near everyone, go north of the river immediately. There's just the statistics saying... Such a big majority of the circle is north of the river. Sure, it can still go south, but you do not want to bank on sitting down there for too much longer if the circle does go up.
Yeah, it's always one of those things where you're like, okay, we just got to take one decision on this.
Yeah.
Let's make the logical one. North would be it. But again, we're fighting for a lot of space and a lot of teams on these rotations. It's going to get dicey. And it's going to be a good fight for a lot of these teams. And K23, right, that's one team I keep mentioning because we see them. The individual skill is there. There are moments of glory, but they're not making the right decisions on when they are engaging and who they're trying to pick fights with at times.
They had that second place in South George yesterday down in the ending near Hospital that Riddle ended up winning. And things were looking to go their way for a while there, but in the end, they got kind of pinned inside of the Hospital itself. And then, I mean, they also had a game prior to that where I believe they got 7th or 8th place where they got some good kills, they had some good engagements, but just couldn't really close it out and get things going in the final couple of circles. So here with this plane, I mean, they got free access right now to the bridge up by Cube, and I mean, they do have vehicles as well, so it shouldn't be too much of a struggle for them to get on up there. But of course, with us not knowing where the circle will go, it's also going to be hard to kind of guide them on where we want them to go.
Now, I want to see, like, we just have Besiktas on the screen there. They're down in South George, and we've got Seekorg near and powerful. We keep speaking about how this is quite a cluster of where these teams are all fighting with each other. Now, there's plenty of space for it, but I want to know how they're going to operate with so many teams soon to be rotating in. Are they going to go in for some of the gatekeeping and holding on to it, or are they just going to let people roll on by? Because I think you could give some of these like key positions away if they're not careful, if they don't go fast enough.
And that's the thing. When you have a position to make that early on rotation, you kind of feel like you're forced to do it. But then again, at the same time, sometimes you're like, oh, well, it's right around the corner anyway. We can just stick around for a little while longer because we'll hear everyone if they do decide to come driving by us. But once you hear that vehicle go past you, that might be that compound you wanted gone, right?
Yeah.
So you need to figure out with yourself whether you want to be that team that sits center. For example, if you're Zoekt Een Naam here, do you rotate early or do you sit around a little while longer wanting to play that edge position? I just think for everyone, it's that we do not want to get caught down by the river scenario. So people will move earlier than you would expect them to normally. And Zoekt Een Naam, they're already on the way.
I want to see if Zen may choose to like take Everest and shoot from that. Like we said, playing on the edge, right? They could get up high and say, all right, come on by. Let's do the drive-bys, guys. We'll sit there and wait for you to rock up and shoot everyone down.
Could be. You see Ivel stopping up front now, scouting further forward. Making sure that there's some room to play around, and this is something we've seen way too often. Bjorn, the first guy in Gamerlegion, down. Unfortunate for him to be taken out of the vehicle there. Just right, gets himself a finish off. And that's going to be Gamerlegion, despite a good game previously. We'll be down to 3 early on.
Now, my thing here for Gamerlegion is we see Bjorn, what, at least 50% of the time get taken down early, maybe not scouting, and then not pulling away early enough or getting picked away from afar. When do you stop this? When do you change this up a little bit?
In this specific scenario, it's one of those you were rotating and you got caught with another team rotating. I don't think they were expecting K23 to be where they were, because as we said, Riddle come jump in, Gatka forced K23 to go further east. This means that at no point has Gamerlegion been contested in rotating through there. Now all of a sudden, wait, there's a team in that compound? He was not anticipating that, and just caught him off guard.
The rotations are going to be hard for everyone as already Aros there taking some shots. Makandark, he's taking some damage. He's spinning out of control, and he's going to go down as well. Mamino finds it, and Gamerlegion down 2 already.
And you can see who it is that are taking them out. It is the guys they were not prepared for. Normally, they'd have this entire pathway to themselves. But this time around, K23 in there, and right now at least they're harvesting the guys in Gamerlegion. Vex could be the next victim, but seems like he'll get to move on in towards Jurassic.
This is why you've always got to be aware, non-stop. You can't just rest on what you know. You can always think, yes, these play here. Yes, we should expect someone here. But there could be someone right around the corner, wherever you may want to go. The compound you think used to be safe may not be safe anymore.
And especially when you have a tournament with so many games, because when it's only X amount of games, teams tend to want to stick to the same strategy throughout just because there's so little room for changing up things. Here, with so many games, you never know what game it is where a team just decides to flip it completely upside down and do something different. You have to always be ready to adapt, ready to do change-ups on the spot, like on the fly. And here, unfortunately, for Gamerlegion, losing 2 players in that first rotation, that could end up costing them dearly.
Now, Avangar made their way from Stalber towards Severny here. And it is left open, so it's a nice spot for them to have in the first circle. Northern Lights are only just beginning their rotation. They're turning into the Avangar of this game for us. But this isn't a big deal for them. They'll quickly rock up, and there's a lot of space down to the south because so many teams have made their way up to the north. You were right, Toby. You're going to gamble? You're going to go for that northern spot? My God, if we get a hard shift south, what are we going to see?
I was just going to say, there is a chance. I mean, it's not impossible for it to go back down towards Rostock, and where we actually had the end of the previous game. It would require some insane... some random rolls of dice for it to happen, but then again, I mean, it can go anywhere, right? So why not down south? Higgy under fire, Rita, and we need a home trying to deliver some damage. Been impressive so far what they've been able to do, but this time around, seems like, at least for now, that Force will be able to get their drive on. As I say that, though, Fosford, take it down.
Less than ideal for Fosford there. Force not getting the start they would have wanted. Sometimes that's just the way it goes.
That is just the way it goes. Genso taken down here as well. I do not expect there to be a rest coming in. You can see the teammates are nowhere nearby, and that is going indeed to be the finish off. So T-Bone not only gets himself damage done, but I believe he also got the finish off. I'm not really sure if it was Ival or T-Bone who got the knock initially, but now you see a clip here. He spots out one, spots out the second as well. Got himself the first knock already, and Sunsea taken down, but Ferg is there to the rescue.
That was close, though. Had Clip had anyone else nearby, that could have been very dangerous. Furex now going to just hide himself in the hut and say, okay, I'll just med up for a little bit and try and get the hell out of here.
It's a dangerous place to start taking this fight. He was crouched, he was making his way forward slowly. You can see Besiktas here on the back. They're delivering a ton of damage down towards the team here as well. They're fighting in the open. They didn't have the info they needed. And Besiktas, they're trying to really, really make Furex pay off for that.
As you can see, Northern Lights last of the party, but a scary team to come your way. Quizzy taking his sweet time as well. As the next circle pops and we go up towards the north a little bit further. About 50% of water in there.
A little bit further? It could barely even go further north. This is tough. You can see, I mean, what is available in compounds other than Severny? Probably somewhere around 7.
Avangar happy.
Oh yeah, I mean, they ain't gonna be complaining at all. Seekorg, despite losing a player just before as well, might have caught themselves in a good moment there too, because they're sitting in a really good compound in this circle. But should they be breached upon, they will be in that 3v4 potentially situation, and that could be the difference maker.
Well, I said Azrin and Avangar are going to be happy. They're going to start off with a kill onto ANLL from the Wildcats. Grishka Power, he jumped out his vehicle and he had an idea that he might want to give some return fire. His vehicle's burning away.
whole lot more to be done there. Now they have to just sit around here for a little while longer. Fortunately, they do have vehicles to make that run, and out and smashes. He's sticking with the buggy, the 3-wheel buggy, sticking to it. Multiple players though making their way on up, and this shooting range is making it so hard to rotate around.
This is where all the kills are going to start to happen because everyone wants to fight for that space. And Zen, they keep gatekeeping the edge there down towards the south, and they're getting involved in the mix as Besiktas. They're going to come into K23, who may have had a good start, but now it's looking to be a bit of a rough one for them to fight off of here. As Zen, T-Bone, he's shooting, and Tamil looks around like, what is going on? Where is this coming from?
Besiktas and Nate, they have been getting it going throughout the entire tournament, and they've been doing well at it too. Fortunately, Tamil got to go down, get himself meted up. I think he's pretty aware of where Zoekt Een Naam was shooting from. It is far off, but it's limited where those shots could be coming from when they come from that direction.
Now the Istanbul Wildcats, 2 players pushing into the house. IG are in control of it though. They are able to hold on at least at first. Pixel finds himself 1 knock, gonna go and try and get into the kill. Using the first aid, but then the push comes in. It's Katurkan coming in with it and doing all the damage. Oh, he's nearly gonna go in for another one as well. The confidence, the knowledge, he's got his teammate there, and that is beautiful. 1 kill comes his way, straight in with a knock, and he's looking for more. On ours there as well. They'll be able to get Slippy Zerg up, and that is the way you get the job done. Insidegames again struggling.
Yeah, important damage done, but I mean, for StarLadder here, he was never in a position to help out. When you have the guys split up the way they were sitting in a good position to take down some of these guys trying to rotate through. They got some damage done off of it too. But you could just never split this thing, especially when you know that there's a team nearby. I mean, they have to play it oh so cautious and oh so careful. And to me, that's a bit of a blunder from Insidegames. But also Lovak, of course, we've seen him do crazy things both as a solo and with his team before. But now Ivo, what can he do here? Seemingly, not so much.
Normally, you'd be 100% right to hype that. This is Ivo we're talking about. He normally lands those. But maybe Perfectus is going a little bit too fast for him to catch up with this time around as an active. He can hear everything that's going on. He's in a nice position to at least understand, okay, this is what people are doing for now. I have an understanding of where they are, but I can just hide away in my little shelter and chill out.
I like a Noctiv going up to peek and be like, this is not my fight. Yeah. I will go back down again.
I hear it. I don't agree with it. I'll just cool myself down and say, we'll wait it out, boys.
Yeah, as you can see, Avangar is split quite thin here. Snoopy does have a good high ground position to help out, but they just do not want to go aggressive on that one. This circle could have gone further into the water. Fortunately, already now will exclude the majority of it, but it doesn't mean that it's going to get any easier to play around here. It's oh so open, and there's just not a whole lot of rooms to play from, especially not with so many players alive.
Just to point out as well, Northern Lights have only just got out of the blue. They have been rotating this entire time. They've stayed out the fights. They've stayed alive. They've not lost any players. This is what they wanted to see. Now, obviously, Perfectix, he had a few shots fired at him by, it was Ivor, I think it was, that was shooting off on him. And they managed to avoid it. They managed to stand strong. Now they're going to come in behind a lot of teams here. But another team under problem here is we need a home. Force finding them on the rotate round. They were all in vehicles and they're being sprayed down on.
Did Smash just jump out of the vehicle?
Yeah. Why? Error?
Smash? Hello?
Oh no.
I think you might actually
he's
just
like I made a grave
finger
mistake.
and F. You know that R for reload and F for... They're pretty damn close to each other. Actually, they're right next to each other. Those 2 buttons on your keyboard. But yeah.
Well, Smash costs himself his life there.
I think that's the case at least. We didn't see anyone knock him out of the car, and he wasn't the one driving. So I think it's
the only logical explanation at this point.
That's unfortunate, but of course, stuff like that does happen every now and again. Trying to make his way around this side here. And the thing is, for the guys in no tag team, it's so hard to flank around these sides here. There's really not a whole lot you can do because you know the teams are up the hill that will shoot down at you as well. But now Sneaky Slayer inside, trying to stay alive. Last remaining player on his team. He's under a ton of pressure. And as we can see, throwing nades all over the place. He has 5 more of them. But will he get to throw them before he will eventually be taken down? We'll know in just a second.
Lipson doing everything he can to stay up. He's on the bike just driving around.
He actually blew up himself.
Around him.
Sneaky blew up himself.
Oh, smooth.
Well, I mean, he denied some kill points, so that's something. But another thing is right here, so you can see he got himself a knock with it too. And an Octave got himself... Oh, that's an unfortunate nade.
That would have been huge as well.
The doorstep nade, that is the one you don't want to have, because that would have taken out the entire team. StarLadder, what can you do on your vehicle here? Around the corner he comes.
Ooh.
That's gonna be him dying, right? It has to be. Nope.
No.
Not yet. Not yet. He's alive for a little while longer.
He escapes by the skin of his teeth. Lipson will eventually go down, and that's We Need a Home eliminated and down and out of it here. Not an ideal start for them, but they got plenty of points. It's not the end of the world.
These rotations up here, they're just oh so difficult, especially if you're late to the party and you try to go center. That's just not going to get you anywhere. When you're up in this open area where there are very limited amount of spaces that you can play from, and you're trying to push it all the way in from the like when you're playing on the edge, to do it at this point in the game with so few spots to play from, you gotta expect those spots to be taken already.
Now, Anuctiv's got so much information here as the new circle pops. It's gone over towards Avangar. Very beneficial here. Seekorg's in it as well, as Besiktas just down in the south. But this is so much information for Avangar, right? Because Anuctiv's been able to see all of this go down over and over again and just say, guys, this is what's happening. Don't really worry. I'm just backing away. I'm not going in for it. But there's a few teams fighting out here, and they don't seem to want to be stopping, so we could get involved.
Avangar playing it smart. They backed off, they took a good position, and then they made the rotation across the road, trying to get into a better spot with a better center position in the circle. It's just a very exposed one at that. Katargan trying to make his way on down, under tons of pressure, both from Avangar and from No Tag Team. And, I mean, at least for now, he's alive, but I'm not sure how much longer it's going to last.
Anuctiv, good awareness. Yeah, the dust is just rolling down to the background. No brake applied. No handbrake there.
And he gets taken down there as well. Give it. Taken down too. Lots of knocks coming in here and there. Not that many finish-offs right now. It does get to finish off Give it, though. So, there's a whole lot more he can do. I believe they're down to just 2 players now. Yeah, Arrows and Cubestick, I believe, last 2 players alive. Slippy, though, will go down, and that's going to be the Istanbul Wildcats out of the equation.
Like we were saying, we want to see a little bit more coming out from that team. It started off so strong for him. Ostrolovac is finally found there. Insidegames are out in 13th, and this is where more and more teams are going to be whittled away at, because this is where it becomes very difficult to maneuver.
Yeah.
The rotation is so hard for a lot of these teams. Zen have covered off this south ground. Gamerlegion is still alive with 2 players. Seekorg just constantly firing, and they're looking around there to see what they can potentially spot out coming towards them.
I think for Avangar, the only spot they're really could be under pressure from is if somebody went up to the hillside they played previously. It isn't the far edge of the circle, so it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to go there. And that's, I think, why they took that one spot. They were the team to sit up there. They cleared their back before they went in. They know they're really exposed from back there. And they said, you know what? I mean, we were there. We didn't see anyone north of us. If anybody goes there, we will hear their vehicles, and then we can sort of react to it. But right now, we can sit in a good spot in the circle. We can hold people off. And the good thing for them is, with them having so much space cleared already, they know the majority of teams on the west side. And they're like, we don't need to get all these kills this early. I mean, last game, what? Did they get their first kill with 42 players alive? It was 12 teams as well, around 16 minutes. This time around, something similar to it. Have a few kills so far, but they don't need to aggress here at all.
Yeah, it was bang on 60 minutes last time. You remember you calling it out?
Oh, yeah,
and
16,
that was it.
yep, 16.
Avangar was sat there thinking, this is our time to strike. And they'll wait it out because they know sometimes fighting early on, like we always point out, is where you just fight for almost no reason because you're not gaining the ground. You're costing yourself a lot at the same time.
Yeah, speaking of not gaining a whole lot of ground, that's going to be Higgy's solo player remaining, and he has all of Zoekt Een Naam to deal with. They've been under fire the last couple of games. Northern lights out as well. That's going to be Ghostar getting himself a double kill there to add the 4th kill to Powerful. Also a team that we kind of missed in the first game, but this time around, decent position on the western edge of the circle. They have a lot of ground to cover still, but with 4 guys up and the 4 motorcycle balls lined up in the game here, there's no saying what they can do.
Avangar and Zen are going to be doing a little dance right now, knowing that We Don't Need a Home and Northern Lights have been eliminated this early.
Yeah. Could make that lead even higher, that they've already managed to get themselves. New circle pups, though. Oh, Avangar, you just keep getting them, don't you?
Sometimes it can just work out massively in their favor as Powerful continuing to destroy all the teams that get in their face. Futbolist this time going to be the ones being fired at, and they've got a good position to fight from. Yes, they're right on the edge of the circle. It's dangerous. You're going to have to get your legs moving very soon, but they're just wanting to take these fights.
Higgy spots 3 players, and they do not hear anything.
Oh, wow.
Zoekt Een Naam, you're going to be going back watching the replay and saying, holy cow, we were fortunate there. There could have been a double. And Noki, well, I mean, if you ever consider starting playing golf, then I feel like that could be a good thing for you, because that one was right on the money.
What is also right on the money is Zen and their constant firing squads that they deliver onto these teams. Gamerlegion with 1 player left alive, just Fex now. He needs to be looking for it. Higgy's still able to hold in the back lines, and this is where he can be a real problem for Zen. If he's just able to prone out, and Zen seems to be so confident that there's no one behind him, that's crazy.
I mean, if he can have a... We talked about the vacuum in Zen once they get on the edge, once they get to play the style they like to. There's really hard to stop them unless you get to sort of do a really good third party. If he can get something going here, just crawling on behind them, he can get himself a really good placement off of it.
Oh, Vex ready and waiting. Able to try and get himself a knock, but he can't get the kill. And once again, Zen will just pick up the pieces, finish him off, and smokes go out. They want to make sure Ival isn't going to be picked off by anyone. They can revive him and stand strong as a unit of 4. But both Besiktas and Avangar have spotted this, and they are firing up onto him.
Yordale trying to get himself into a better spot, to get himself into the compound this time around. Simpson is going to be the one to say hello, and that's going to be... yeah. So one comes in, doesn't work. Simpson says, I'll try the same thing. That clearly didn't... There's something with breaching things and Riddle today that just ain't really a dynamic duo.
Okay, 2-3 going to be very happy. Higgy done exactly what we were scared about. Zen now will know where he is, but he should have never been able to do this in the first place.
Yeah.
Crept himself up into a top 8 position and picked up some kills for 4s now.
You hate to see it, but that's just how it is. You gotta be oh so careful. We talk about Avangar, how they always use a knock. If there's no immediate threat, they use them just constantly. Look at those pushes. Look at what's happening behind. Holy cow, Snoopy's actually flying there. But always be aware of your surroundings. And Hickey got himself a freebie there, of course, for Esco. There's no way in hell he was going to be prepared for that. So no real counterplay to it. But for Zoekt Een Naam, they now have to be extra cautious. You can see, before, they were full-on focused on what was happening in the field. Now they can only focus on Hickey.
Avangar as well, though, need to be cautious here. No tag team. Did manage to take down Snoopy, put some of the one-man disadvantage when it comes to going up against some of these other teams. Finally, Zen do deal away with Higgy. They won't allow him to be the nuisance in their side for any longer. It's powerful. They're still getting involved. They're still trying this. They have a 4-man team, and they're looking for Besiktas now. Tormel able to reply at least with 1 knock. Looking for more, going to flush out the kill. More shots coming out towards him, and it's Avangar also firing at Besiktas. Long range getting it done, and this is where it's scary for Besiktas. With Powerful pushing up on you, Avangar causing a problem from the far. This is going to be very difficult because there is not a lot of space there, and the smokes need to come out on top. Tormel finds himself getting knocked on Powerful, looking to get another big damage set of kills coming in there, and that's exactly what they're starting to do.
They're applying a ton of pressure. Lux can't do a whole lot from inside there. They won't allow for him to peek out, and that's going to be Ghost Star and company getting themselves a 10th kill and a top 6 spot guaranteed. What a hell of a turnaround for Powerful. We've been complimenting them in how good of a team they are. They just haven't really been delivering. This time around, though, doing so with effect.
Seekorg, though, starting to find them. Against the kill onto Morpheus, which is making their numbers dwindle now. Just Ghost Star and Bruxell left alive, but they are within the top 6 with a bunch of kills. Zen bandaging and healing themselves up as much as possible here, but Avangar, as always, really, it's just unrelenting onto teams.
Yeah.
They'll spot across the entire map, take a ton of shots, and see what they can do. Surprisingly, Dupesig's been able to get out of shooting range, which I'm really surprised at, considering how pinned down they were for so long.
I think you can put all of that on Hickey. Zoekt Een Naam were focusing shooting range, they were focusing Avangar's position, but as soon as Vasco went down, they had no room to do that. And they were the only team that was up that mountain with the overview of everything. Had they been up there, no way in hell they would allow for Dupesig to get up. But because they had to turn around, focus elsewhere, then you had the whole engagement with Powerful and Besiktas happening that drew their attention. Dupesig managed to sneak on through.
Now, the supply drop will provide you a bit of cover here, Zen, but 2 players behind it. That's scary when nades can come out towards you. And Asverin is scoped and ready. He fully understands what's going on. As K2-3, they are finally taken down, but a 6th place is very respectable, all things considered.
It's only 3 points, but 3 points they need. Every single point you can get here at any point of the game, honestly, is it's good to go for. So 6th place, I'm not sure exactly how many kills they managed to get themselves.
But they had at least 4.
Yeah, I was going to say they were on the kill feed quite a few times. So it's a good showing for them here. Gonna get those bad games turned into decent ones, and they managed to do it right there.
Now Seekorg, patiently waiting, finally pushed out into it now. Taking a bit of control over towards the northwest. They've got Powerful still to deal with, and they were fired off against them. They picked off Morpheus, so they're well aware of Powerful's position.
I think everyone is. They're fighting so much up there that you've got to know what's been happening up that hill. Now the issue for Broxel and Ghost Eye, as you can see on the minimap there, that they sure are just one little step from the circle. And you're saying, oh, that's easy enough. Just got to step 2 meters forward. But that's all their cover gone.
Yeah.
They have to run all the way down the hill in the open now, quite a lot further inside the circle in order to get any position they can play from. And as we talked about before, Avangar knows where they are, Zoekt Een Naam know where they are, and so does Seekorg. So it's going to be hard for them to really find anywhere to lay low.
T-Bone trying to land those shots onto an Octave. 2 heavy-hitting players going up against each other here.
And this is just long-range damage commencing from all sides. Broxel, immediate knock and finish up onto Page. No counterplay on that one at all. He was looking into the field, and Broxel took him down with ease. T-Bone all by himself, and a rock to work with, an Octave as well. Hidden behind the wooden shack down here, has to make the run on off.
Jupsig also pushing forward, but still being left alone, and this could be another problem for Zen.
Ival has made the push on into the compound, or into the field. I actually kind of like that. Ooh, Maxisol tried to predict the movement from, oh my god, from Broxel. I want to see one of those land. We know he's capable of doing it. He does these shots time and time again. And Avangar, there's a crate for you.
One they're going to be very happy with here is Seekorg finally starting to take on Powerful. They've heard the shots, they knew it was time, they've got involved, and Powerful are down. But don't hold your guns for too long, because Avangar are getting stuck in, and they heard what it is, and they said, oh, thanks for that, you've helped us out, but now we're going to deliver the pain onto you.
Just 8 players alive, but spread across 4 teams. Everything can happen here. We got such an open area to play from, and the only guys with really a proper position up the hillside right now and some cover is actually Seekorg. So should the next circle go anywhere west, that could be really beneficial for them. But Avangar, though, from this spot, if they have to move anywhere but where they are, they're going to be under fire from so many different teams. Jupsig down he goes. T-Bone spots him out. A little bit of help from to Ival, I guess you can say, who wasn't anticipating that one.
Now Avangar know they've got a lot of control here. They picked up the supply drop. They've got Seekorg over towards the west. Just a little bit south of them, they've got Zen.
I think Avangar has 2 level 3 helmets at this point, which would most likely also mean they have 2 level 3 vests. That could be the difference maker should it become a close quarter fight in the end of this one. Put a Avangar, put a Maxisol with a with an M24 on your team, and you've got a really good thing going. Almost takes the head off of T-Bone, just missing by inches.
T-Bone knows he's got to be oh so cautious here. A nade goes out towards him, doesn't quite connect, but it's very dangerous, and Ival is just trying to push him, applying all that pressure, but they've not got long before they're going to have to move, and Avangar have got a decision to make. More nades flying out. Ival's got to be careful himself, but it goes very deep behind him.
This is going to be an insane circle for T-Bone to play around, because what do you do here if you're him? You're actually inside the circle. It pretty much hard-shifted as much as you could expect it to down south, and he'll get to sit behind that rock, but the thing for him is, if he gets knocked there, there's no way in hell Ival is going to get anywhere near a rest coming in for that. Ooh. Almost knocks coming in there. And even if Ival gets the knock on them, I don't think he's going to be pushing over this hill anytime soon.
Yeah, he doesn't want to expose himself, but Seekorg soon will have to.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what they're waiting for. Both for T-Bone, who heard the shots fired between the Seekorg and Powerful up there, and Avangar doing the same thing. They have to move, but they know that Philo and Furex have to go first.
Great use of the car here for cover as well by Avangar. They know they're running out of space to play with. The ridges won't benefit them for too long, and
they're actually inside the circle there. They could prone up where they are and stay up at that exact tree position up there. Nobody's within nade range. That won't be a whole lot possible, but Ival, this nade, if it's on the money, it's limited where they can be. Had it gone just a meter further, that could have been a triple kill right there.
They have to flush him out. Asbrin's going in for the fight, but this is where Seekorg see their opportunity. Asbrin's taking so much damage. They've got in for Ival. They aren't able to get it done, and T-Bone's delivering. Huge work being done from T-Bone and Avangar. They could be down and out. Maxisol know he needs to deliver some kills. They go down in 3rd place, and they were the team to beat.
T-Bone, what a madman. Furex and Philo somehow managed to not get all the kills there, because they were standing still for a long time. Somewhat doable targets. Now T-Bone can be the man once again to get a back-to-back win for Zoekt Een Naam.
Seekorg, though, they desperately need these points. They've got the advantage. They've got grenades pinned and ready. T-Bone, he's moved around. He's not going to give away his position, but he's not exactly in a spot that they'll be hard to see him in. He may be prone, but he should be able to get this done. T-Bone starts off with the first. Looks in for the second. He sprays it. T-Bone clutches absolutely huge. Owls.